Good morning. It's Angela here with Dogwood Paper Arts, and welcome back to Stamperia Roses and Lace. I really am not sure which way it said. Either way, Stamperia sounds great. Might have to call the company just so I can hear them say the name. So where did we leave off? Well, we left off on finished up page 2. We still have our photo mats to make underneath in our booklets. So we have 1 and 2 done. So let's plan on moving over to page 3. So what have I come up with? Well, it took me a couple of days. My husband's been quite sick. So I've been kind of hanging out with him, and, you know, we like to take care of him. Of course, I've been in and out of here a couple times with designs, and I'm ready to get started. I think I've come up with something. I came up with some really complicated things, but I tossed those aside for later. For another time, maybe just a craft with me thing. So we have a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and we have our page 3 pocket page. I have written top on both of these. You can see I had lines drawn around there, but we're not going to use those. That's a project for maybe a Craft With Me series. That might be better. So anyway, we are going to, maybe I should just kind of erase those lines so I stop thinking about it. Okay. Also, before we get started, I wanted to say that I have switched over to this Ranger archival ink. And the reason I've done that, this is a sepia. The reason that I have done that is because I really feel like the distressing inks, they run with the water. And this one's waterproof. So, not that I'm throwing water on these, however, we are putting glue on them, which is wet. And it's a water-based glue, I believe. And so the brown, the glue with the distressing inks turns kind of yellowy, and I really don't like that. So not on an album like this. On a distressed album, you bet. I mean, a way distressed album that I just wouldn't care how much ink got on it. So every ink has its place, right? I hope. Anyway, we're going to use the archival ink, the waterproof ink, for going around the edges of our papers to see if that stops the bleed over from the wet glue and the ink hitting each other. So it's coffee time. So I'm going to have a sip of coffee, excuse me. Oh gosh, that's good. That is such good coffee. Oh, thank you for letting me do that. Okay, so I do have my page cut out, but I want to show you how I got to where I did. It's all in the works. So the first thing we're going to do is measure our paper the same height here. Make sure it's not on the top or on the bottom, but it's going off to the right side. I am going to bring it in just ever so slightly. Going to line these up here so that I can make my line. Excuse my head, I have to get my head up here. I'll scoot this down towards me. Going to make my line there. And we are going to just cut across here, but we're leaving the rest. Hang on, I'll show you what we're going to do with it. So I spent some time yesterday. Whoops, I think I cut that crooked. Sometimes I think my board is off just slightly. I guess it's okay. I guess it's all right. If it's off when we make our folds, we will look at that, won't we? Okay. On our scoring board, we want to score our paper we just cut. Put the long way up here along the edge and score it at a 1/2 inch. So we could go ahead and flip it around. We're leaving room on one side over here for some, like those hearts that I've been using. I haven't decided yet if I want to keep using them. This one I really should have put in a little bit tighter. But it is what it is, but I really should have made it a little tighter on that one. But I think it's okay. Okay. 5 1/8. Here's 5. One more would be 1/8. Give that a score down. I'm going to score mine twice because I like to do that. Okay. Let's fold our creases, our score lines. Now that does not look right. Don't really want it to be a crooked score. Some days it all goes perfectly, and other days you look at your work and you think, what the heck happened here? Okay, now turned around and fold on the other score line. And we're folding it in towards the 1/2 inch that we turned over, our hinge. Okay, now we are going to measure over. Now I know some of you don't have this, but it's something I really want to do. But this is a magnetic punch. You can use, if you have this one, use it. If you have a different one, you could use it. If you have hearts, a heart punch, you could punch out a heart and draw the shape around and cut them out with your X-Acto knife. But I'm going to use this one. If you have, a die, dies will work perfect. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be this. It could be a window. We're going to make a window pocket here. So if you come up with something different, that would be fine. And it would probably look great. So from the edge, we're going to measure over 2.5 inches. And you're going to put it just to the left of the bump. It is just to the left. 2.5. And, excuse my head. Gotta get in there. I'm going to turn it around so I can actually see that little bump. Yeah, I would have gone over just a little too far. Okay. So we're going to draw a line in there. It'll get erased. I'll go ahead and erase these ones, because those definitely would show. And then we are going to measure from here, 1 1/4. One and 1/4. Make sure I got that one correct. My scoreboard's in the way over there. Get out of the way, scoreboard. Okay. The reason we're doing this is because we want these hearts to come down this paper, or whatever it is that you've chosen to use on this. You want them to line up on this line. Then every 2 inches, I'm going to turn this way so I can put it at a little angle here to me. And every 2 inches, I want you to put a little tick mark there. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. There we go. That's just our center point of our heart. Okay, so this is the outside. I have to remember that. Looks a little longer. It's a little shorter. Oh, because we made it a little shorter here. Okay. This is our front. I'm going to mark front. No. Erase that. I want you to write pocket. This is going to be the back of your pocket. You're not going to see these hearts on this page. There, you're going to open it up and there's going to be a surprise of hearts right there. Okay? Now the way I figured out how to do this was I set this down facing me so that when I lay it on there, they're going to match up. These magnets are going to attach to one another and make a nice clicky sound. So what you're going to do is on this punch, you can see that the heart has those sharp angles on it. We're going to line those up on the line. And then we are going to just about center that pencil line. We're going to attach, check our work, and it moved. So we're going to take that apart. You gotta hold it really firmly, and I wasn't. Okay, here we go. Now we can flip it over and punch it. You want to be sure it punches all the way through before you remove it. The reason we're doing this on the pocket side is because it's going to look a lot nicer on this side if we do. Because this is the top of the punch. Okay, let's do the next one. Once again, we're lining this up between here and there, and we're kind of centering that as best as we can. Bring that over. Hold this securely. Yep, there we go. Yep, that removed it. And one more time. It is easier to kind of set this down first. And then pick it up with it almost there. Line it up. Oops, mine is not aligned. It was off alignment on the bottom. And when you have a row of hearts like this, you want it as close as possible. I see I'm off a little bit right there. That would not be my preference, but it is what it is. Okay. And punch that one through. Now we will have to do that again because we have to do the paper that goes on top of this. Okay, I'm going to just throw those in my little box there. Oh, look. Looks like little snow. That would be good on a Christmas card, wouldn't it? See? Little bit of snow. Okay. So there we go. So I am going to, that one is ready. This one is ready. So the next thing I did was I measured over with my extra paper. And, well, the first thing I did was I scored this at 1/2 inch. So score your paper at 1/2 inch. See here? Then I folded that under and I measured from here to the edge, that line, that's where the side of our pocket's going to go. And I measured over and I made a tick mark. And then I scored down that. Now mine scored just a little bit inside of it. But that brings it in just enough here so it's not interfering with the flips and folds of a page. Okay, then I ran this clear up to the top and I measured down and I took a look and I made a tick mark just above the bottom of the paper. Whoops, just above the bottom of the paper, please. Made my tick mark and made a score line. So if you had extra paper, you cut it off here at your, after you made your score of 1/2 inch, you made another 1/2 inch mark and you cut that off. Same way down here. After you get your score line, make another 1/2 inch mark and then cut that off. Okay. Then I cut the corners in. And I did this because I want my pocket to be pretty nice looking down towards the bottom. Then I cut a piece of paper to match this. And you can see I left white around the edges. You see that? It wants to focus on my thumbs. It likes my thumbs so much better. Anyway, after I got this piece cut to fit inside here, I centered my cut paper on my pocket page. And then I just barely made a hole punch here. And that cut that out. Then I went around the edges of it with archival ink because we want to try and see how that works. Okay? So there's those 3 pieces now. Then I looked around and I had some packaging with some, what do you call it? Some packaging that was clear, had some pretty firm plastic in it. And I cut that so that it just fits around on each side of my hearts. And it's going to be, you could leave it blank if you want, depending on what you put here. But I've decided to put the plastic in. You could use page protectors if you like. You can use the acetate paper. I need to order some of that. And, oh, sorry. We want to cut this to fit, but because this is a pocket, and because this is going to show up there, we are going to apply a little piece of paper that'll come down just to right above that heart. And that's going to prevent your paper from catching that when it slides in. You hear that? So you'll see that as we go here. Okay, so let's clean off our little paper here. Because, as you know, with plastic, all fingerprints will show. There we go. Okay, now I am going to glue this down with the art glitter glue. I'm not sure how it will hold. However, when we put this down, it's going to be covered just a little bit of that. And that will help hold it down as well. Okay? Oh, before we get started, let's remember we've cut these corners down here. Let's not forget these up here. Let's cut those at an angle. Doesn't have to be very deep. Just a little bit. Just so it won't show at the top of the pocket. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to run some glue around this edge. And I'm going to run some glue in between here. I'm going to erase my word pockets. I guess I'm going to erase this line. Now my heart punch, it leaves a little bit of junk around the edges. So check your punch and be sure that it's okay. And before we put that plastic on, if you put your lines on this side, yeah, erase those too. And before we stick that plastic in, we better think about our how we're going to cover this piece. This side is going to become pockets, so leave your line here. So we could go ahead, no, we can't apply this pocket yet because we have to put this piece in. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking on the fly here. So we know we have to save this side because we still have work to do here with our pocket. However, because we want to access these heart holes to put when we lay down our paper, I need to erase some of these lines. I'm sorry. Once I get them erased, I'll quit thinking about them. There. I don't care about that center one. It's not going to be seen. It's going to get covered up. Okay. we have to pick a paper for this page. Pick a paper, pick a paper. Now, because I want this to match with this page right here, I have decided that I'm going to use this paper here. And this is going to be a nice big photo mat page. Or maybe we'll put a couple of photo mats in there, or maybe we'll make a little raised one. I don't know yet. But I do know that the lines on this paper are going this way. Can you see that? Okay. Whoops. These are all the things I'm getting ready to make our cards with. Because the lines on this paper are going horizontally, I want these to go vertically. And that kind of pulls it in a little more. So we have that paper for this page. And I've decided that I will use this white page over here. Oh, I gotta move some stuff. I better put my heart away so I don't mess it up. Don't want to mess with my heart. Okay. Measuring this paper to the inside of this one. We'll have a little thing around them. A little edge around each side. And right about there to right about here, I guess. So let's go ahead and cut that one. Oh, where did that mark go? There it is. Throw that in my little extra bin here. Hope I cut this right. It looks so little. Oh, it works. Okay, let's make sure it's going to fit. We want it to have a nice proper fit. I think we're going to need to take just a slight little bit off of that. I have to take a slight bit off of mine. I don't know what yours looks like. Oh, there's another squiggly piece of paper. Okay. Yes, that's much better. Let's distress this one. I'm going to, once again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to use the archival ink because I want to see if it makes a difference. Some of this paper looks just like the paper in the Stamperia blues that we did. I'm switching paper companies this next time. Not for the craft with me, but for the next album. I'm going to work with a... I don't know if I tell you, I'm going to surprise you. It is absolutely stunning paper. I told myself this morning, would you get in there and get this stuff done so you can make that next album? And I was like, well, sure, why not? So, I'm still going to dry that off a little bit. Quick dry. Use your towel. Okay. Now, I think the best way to do this is to find some little clips. And let's see, that's going to go there. And that is going to go about there. Right about there, you think? I think so. Carefully clip that on. And then go ahead and better clip the bottom too, just to be safe. Okay. Now, go ahead and draw around your hearts or around the edge of whatever you punched your paper with. This is going to give you the mark of where to cut out the next heart. Now, like I said, you don't have to use hearts. You could actually use some sort of a filigree pattern in here. It's just solely for design. A filigree pattern would be absolutely stunning and would look fantastic. Okay. Now, we have those. I'm going to put my clips away. And I can see I have my hearts here. So once again, I'm going to put this upside down. And I'm going to double sure I have that in the right place. I don't want my hearts to be on the other side. I'm going to line that up with the heart in there. And I'm off of it already. Oh, no, I'm doing it wrong. Hee hee. Hee hee ho ho. Angela, you know. Okay, sorry. We're going to apply that here. Now we can flip it over. Make sure it punches all the way through. Ooh, boy, that is one tough magnet. Save that pretty little heart. See, here's, I don't know if you can see that, but in mine, it creates an extra shaggy cut right there. So I always have to go in on mine and trim this one up. Now I have one more of these that I bought, and I noticed that it does this exact same thing. It's easier to get it from this back side because that seems to be where it pushes the bunches up the paper, I guess you could say. It has two places that it does it, one up there and one down there. There, that took care of it. Okay. So let's do this again. Line this heart up. And I don't guarantee that these are going to match up perfectly. There are no guarantees. We're guaranteed coming into this life and we're guaranteed leaving it. But there's no in between guarantee of how we'll get here and how we'll leave. My philosophy for the day. This one is really not lining up. Every time I stamp it down, the paper says, I'm moving. Okay, this time you're going to work properly. Ready? Thank you. Here we go. Yep. Oh, it looks good from that side too. But I think I really want the... Oh, they look the same to me. Ange. flipping that upside down. Lining up the hearts. Hanging on to them tightly. Oh, it pulls a heart apart. It pulls apart pretty hard. Okay, save your little hearts. I'm going to throw them in my basket. Now, if you're ended up with a little bit of extras on yours, this is the time to clip them off. Because I've tried it, they don't go away on their own. Make sure you have your good glasses on. Because there's a lot of hard things to see down there. Oh. Well, I'm glad that my hubby is feeling better today. He's really got a bad head cold. You can see that still hanging off over there, so I want to trim that off. But it's right on that corner. You got to be really careful. Now, the other thing we could try, fingernail file. Oh, I need a little round one. You're not going to see this side of the paper anyway. You're going to see this side. That did that did help. Okay. And then we got to take off this side. It's once again right on that little roundy part of the heart. But, you know, fixing these little things up, it's okay. You know, we put a little more TLC into our project. And that's fine. We have time to do this, right? I hope. Well, if you don't have time, make time. That's what I say. Make time. Art is a good cure for lots of things. So this is a fingernail file, and it works great. I like it. I learned that from Artie Mays, who uses a fingernail file on her sanding with the paper. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So, let's go from the other side and ink up our heart. Because we don't care if it gets all over the edge on this side. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think the way to do it maybe is to ink up that side. Well, that works pretty good. Yeah. Don't do it, Ange. Stay on the back side. Don't go to the front. You know you'll ink up the whole thing. There, look at that. Yes, 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 I like it. Put that heart back together. Okay. Now, what do you think? Fit or no fit? Oh, I think it's a fit. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it's a fit. It's not perfect, but we're not looking for perfect. If we want perfect, we'll better have a conversation with a higher power. They might direct us a little better towards perfection. Don't know. Okay, inking the... I couldn't stand it. Okay, so I got a little ink around the outside here. Sorry, I had to do it. I just felt like it wasn't quite inked right. I know, it gets it around the edges there, but I like it that way. There. I know. If you were right here with me, you would see exactly what I'm seeing. It just gives it a little more depth right there, and I really like that. Because we don't have it on the hole underneath. We could put it there, but I don't want to put it on the white. So we're not going to do that. Okay, now that we have this, see, we're going to put two little photo mats over here. But now that we have this, we can go ahead, set that aside, and let the ink dry. Flip it back to page, to the front of that page. I did get a little bit of ink around my edges here. Oh no, it's not ink. You know what it is? It's pencil line. And we're making everybody worry for no reason at all. Okay, erase the pencil lines. And if they won't erase from your white paper, I would suggest a white felt tip, maybe. And you could just go around the edges of your white. Get rid of all those eraser parts. Oh yes, that looks better. Okay. Flip this over. Let's apply our plastic. Oh, it's got little tiny hairs on it, probably from the kitty. What do you think? Okay, this is the inside of the pocket. I see my words under there that say pocket. I shouldn't have erased it so soon. Okay, let's cover our hearts. Now I do want to go around the edges here, widely so, because I don't want it to come through. But I am going to squiggle, squiggle, squiggle between, whoops, get rid of that. I don't really want it to come through those holes, because then I gotta clean them out, and well, you know how that is. It's just not that much fun. We save a little bit of time one way, maybe we can okay, so just around the edge of this one. It is going to spread around a little bit, and it's probably going to spread around a lot more than I want it to underneath here. Just give it a little bit of extra here. This is where the bottom of the plastic's going. Okay. Oh, I'm going to get it through those holes anyway. Oh well, we'll clean them out, won't we? So if you haven't been with me to clean out glue out of little tiny holes, you'll be showing how to do that today, whether I wanted to do that or not. Okay, so let's just go ahead and burnish that down a bit. Let me find my better burnisher. Oh look, I have a better burnisher. It's actually not too much work to take the glue out of the little holes in the front. And I will show you how to do that. Okay. So take a look at it, and if you have glue, first start with a little towel. A lot of times that will take it off. But if it glues right down in the hole and fills the hole up, then you get your little awl or pokey tool and very gently clean it out. Don't poke through your hole. Very simple. Works great. It is very, very easy to do. And it's just a very gentle touch. The glue comes right out and is no problem, really. You do have to clean off the tip of your tool here. Okay. Oh, I see some more up here. If you're having a hard time seeing it, hold it up to your light and take a look, and you'll probably see where the glue is in the little holes. Nice. There. Okay. Alrighty. Now our hearts are covered. Now, before we forget, we want to apply this piece on the back. Our front cover looks like this. So what color should we put in there? You know, I'd kind of like to put some green. I wonder if I have a little tiny green. Let's see if we have some little tiny green. Oh, let's see here. Oh, we have that. That's from the back of the book. Not that. Oh, we have a pink and we have that. Oh, here it is. It's on the back of our little doodads here. Sorry to call them doodads. I'm not sure what they're called. It doesn't need to be very much. It just needs to be inside here and definitely not over our hearts. Let me straighten this up a little bit. Oh gosh, my nose is running. I am so sorry. There's that. Once I straighten it up a little bit, I can look at it a little easier and see what I need it to do. We want it to slip inside the pocket once we get the edges down. inside edge, right about there. So we'll cut it off right there, and then find the tallest part of your heart. My heart is tall. My heart is so tall. You know, I need to even that up. It is crooked. It's because I think it's just like a crooked piece of paper. There. Okay. Yes, that is better. Find the tallest part of your heart and draw a little line, and that's where we're going to bring this little piece of paper down to. So I need to clip it right there, and then I need to clip it right where? Oh, right there. Gotta get this underneath the little thing here. Line it up. Won't matter if it's a little crooked inside the pocket, but it might, I might keep thinking about it if I do that. Okay, that's going to work. Let's erase any pencil lines you have. Okay. And, yes, you guessed it, distress, just a little. Oh, we don't really need to distress the whole inside, do we? Because it's going to go right about here, and this is going to come over it. Okay, so we have some pieces. Excuse me, I gotta blow my nose. You'll have to forgive me. It's that time of year. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. It's fall, and my nose is falling off. It's what it does. It falls off. This will catch up on that thing underneath. Okay, so let's go ahead and remember, we want this on top of these. This would have been better under this, but it's also going to be good on top because it's going to hold it. Oh, the one thing we want to be sure, though, is put this piece down. And then hold it and flip it over, and very carefully look to see if any of your lines got, any of your paper shows through there. Your, you know, these edges. And I think mine's fine. Running my glue down the edge. And I'm trying to throw it over onto the front as I go. We don't need to do that. And remove anything that's a little too close to the edge. So what are we going to put in this pocket? Well, let me tell you. I think it might have to be a bookmark. Okay, now let's start over on the edge with the pencil line. If you cut it just a little bit smaller, then that is good. Whoops. Let's start by gluing that on the, where it needs to go. Okay. So many little tiny steps that help you get where you need to be with this stuff. Oh, you know what? That's not going to work. Okay. You want to be sure when that flips over, this is not hanging over the edge. So, because I had to pull that up a couple times. It came up there on the corner. Okay, fold your page and be sure that it looks correct. Now, it may not follow those pencil lines, or it might. You might have been a better pencil liner than me. I'm just going around erasing any of the pencil lines. Lots of times I like to see if it'll remove any of the extra glue. It never does. But get all your eraser bits off there. I know you're thinking, but what about the inside? Well, it is going to actually be covered with, oh gosh. Whatever we put down inside of it. I should have made a whole backing paper for the inside of this. I don't think this will fit. Let me see. Yeah, perhaps I should have made a backing paper in here. I do think maybe if I ran a pink paper in there, that would look pretty. Oh, I wish we could get roses right there. We could. Do you know that? We could. Okay. I need to take a quick little break and heat up my coffee. And I have to feed my dog. It's her time to eat. And I've lost my little pen. Have you seen my pen? Let me put this up here. I'm trying to stay a little better organized, but I'll tell you what. Oh, look! There it is. Okay. Quick break. I will be right back with you. Okay, we're back. So we left off on this little piece we're working on and realized that we probably should have something that kind of covers that up. So I picked this paper out of the Country Roads pack that I said we would probably use. It is a thin single-sided paper, so it will slide in here pretty good. We won't need to tape anything off or glue anything off down in here because we're going to glue right up here before we push it all the way in the pocket. But we don't want to glue below here. We could glue on the sides a little bit there, but we don't want to glue below there because we want it to there we go, see? It's going to go nice. We'll still need to apply this piece of paper right here. To go with like this. We better glue that on when we're done. That way we'll know everything fits in the pocket correctly. Otherwise we'd still have that white. Anyway, by gluing this in there, when we pull our bookmark or whatever it is we put in this pocket out, there will still be something for the hearts, covering the hearts. And I think that this rose paper will be very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that in there. And I'm going to apply my glue. We don't have to worry about putting any of the brown ink on there or anything. And we're just gluing this so that it will not get caught up in our paper that slides in and out. So I'm going to shove that in there very gently. Before I press it down, I want to be sure that it's lined up here. And it is. So let's go ahead and burnish it down right up here. Well, let's just double check ourselves to be sure it's not getting caught up on anything. This paper's a little too wide for this. Perfect. Excellent. So let's go ahead and apply this one now. It might be just a little too large for my pocket now. So let's trim that off a little bit. I'm going to use these long scissors, it works better. Just like that, see? We'll push that in there. Now this one, we did go around the edges. I'm always saying we. I'm including you in everything, because I want you to craft with me. Let's push that in the pocket. I know it lines up because we've fit it. But, you know, you get glue on them and they don't want to cooperate too well. Well, that looks pretty good. Okay. Now, the whole idea behind this is that we're going to have some pockets here and here. 2 pockets here in this pocket. And the idea is that you open this and it's just kind of a nice surprise to see those inset hearts there. And see how they stand out, and the acetate in there just kind of lets them shine. It's really nice. I really like it. So let's go ahead and put our glue on here. Clean off our paper there. Now, like I told you, this side is going to have some photo mats on it. And we'd planned photo mats on the page that adjoins it. But I'm not quite sure yet. Trying to avoid those holes so we don't get too much extra glue that we have to get out of everywhere. So you want to carefully line this up Now you're lining up with hearts. You're lining up with the sides of your paper, the top. It's kind of a total realignment here. And there we go. Let me take my little towel. Now I pulled out one of my flower towels. I really like this for working in the art room. And if it gets dyed or anything, you know, if I dye it by accident with all the paints and inks, then I can eventually cut it up and use it in junk journals. So what I'm seeing here is that these might lift up a little bit. So we may have to put the little piece down there and then clean the glue out of those holes that it gets into. The glue will dry clear, but I'm not sure how clear it will be right here on this acetate and stuff. But it's just simple to take that glue right out of those holes. So just barely lift that little thing up there. And then use your nib to put some glue under there. Use your towel so that if the glue comes out, like mine did right there, you can clean off the acetate. Oh, I think this looks really nice. And that one's already sticking up, so this is a very good idea to get this under here. And just make sure that that piece stays down, because otherwise it could prove to be a problem later. So there, look at that. That looks wonderful. Oh, look. A piece of cardboard, you say? Yes. However, this is going to be a piece of art eventually. Okay, so we have that page ready. It does need a couple of photo mats. I'm not sure what size yet we want to put on those. So let's flip back to the front page. We already have this piece ready. And it's going to go right on there like that. So let's go ahead and apply it. Oops. I don't know how people get those nice straight glue lines. Not that it matters. Once it's under there, it all gets squished anyway. But some people are so good at running the glue down the sides and everything that I just don't know how they do it. Practice, 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 I guess, huh? Okay. Oh, that looks so pretty. I love that paper. I know. I'm wondering where the lace is too. We just haven't gotten there yet. Okay. The first thing we want to do on these is let's go ahead and do a 1/2 inch score mark, a fold line. And I'm just going to do it all the way down this paper because I will probably use it anyway. Wondering where I got that green from. I haven't had out any green paint, I don't think. I'm going to fold that temporarily. I'm not going to crease it real good yet. So this is going to butt up right against there. Right against it. And we're going to bring it out to about there. Oh dear. Right about there. So let's cut that off there. Well, let's see, we have a 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there. Yeah, just cut that off to start with. I think that will be the easiest way. So let's find the center of our piece here. Oh, go in this direction. It is 8 inches. Well, it's just slightly under 8 inches, so I'm going to slightly put that over there and slightly put that one there, and I'm going to mark 4 right there. And I'm going to do that again and mark 4. I'm going to connect those lines from here to there. From here to there and there to here. Just to the edge of that paper. That's just to let me know where I need my pockets to go. Okay, so we need a 1/2 inch there. A score mark. So let's put that one in. And there we go. Give it a fold and a crease. And I'm going to go ahead and give this bottom one a good crease because I remember I did not start out doing that. Okay. So if I fold the back and I fold this side, that's going to tell me I'm just about where I need to make my next score line. However, make your mark slightly to the right because we've got to have turnover space right there. Score that line. Doesn't matter where you set it on your scoring board. Just want to score down that line a little bit. So make sure you hold it good against the edge. Give it another mark. I like to put it on like a 1/2 inch and mark it back to a little bit, and then I can just see it to cut it right off. I don't do a deep score, it's just a slight line so I can see it. I just like to do it that way. It stops me from scooting over there to the rotary cutter all the time. All right. Still have to cut those corners, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of a fit here. Okay, let's get that out of there. because it is actually making things go kind of crooked.
Perfect. Okay. There's that. It is off just slightly right there. And I don't know if it's because I thought maybe the back was off a little bit. So sometimes you do kind of have to fix things a little bit, but that's okay. It just helps to line things up. Okay, so there's that one. Now let's do our 1/2 inch score line on this piece. Oh, I don't like to use that one as a scoring. I always am too sharp with that piece. I actually should have made my mark on the other side, but I think this is going to be okay. Am I out of the scene? I am so sorry. I'm not in the scene. Okay. So there's that one. Oops. Trying to get it to fit on there right. So we want those to be just coming together. It is kind of hard to make them fit, but we can do it. We can do it. Do 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 do. Won't be long and we'll be singing Christmas songs. So I'm drawing my line so it's just the other side of this pocket here. And that is going to be our next score line. Oh, and I put it in a terrible spot. Going to have to move it over just slightly. Before I take that all the way out, before I cut that off, I'm going to just see if I got it right. Yep, I think that's going to work just fine. Okay, I'm going to cut that off at about 1/2 inch. Since it's not a really long piece, I'm not afraid to cut it and try to make it look like a 1/2 inch there. Give a slight cut. There we go. Oh, we can't forget, we better cut these too. They don't have to be very deep. And let's see, right here. Ta-da! Let's get rid of our pencil mark there. And And let's get rid of our pencil mark back here. You have any others? No, it looks good. Oh, we have these. Let's get rid of these. Okay. Let's gather up our garbage there and throw it in our garbage. Whew, there we go. Okay, now I want to put these together since they are almost exactly the same size. One is, I tell you, is definitely a little bit bigger than the other one. Now, do we want the same color paper on those? Do we want a bird cage on one and roses on the other? If we do, then we want to cut these to fit. So something to think about. Oh, I know why I was going to cut them and put them on here, because I want to cut those pockets about the same. The bird cage is a little bigger, so let's put it on the bigger one. That would be this one. Let's see if it fits. Yep. Oh boy, it just fits. I'm going to cut around that bird cage. I think I'll start at the bottom. And then I will measure from here to there and there to here. Lining it up on the pocket so we get a good... Might cut that little nib off just a little bit, right off the top of the cage there. No, I think we're going to make it. I think we're saving it. Okay, look at that. Very nice. Now, I think I'm going to cut this off a little bit because we're going to cut another one of these little holes in it. So what I take off the back, I can save in case I need it later. Like for a border or something like that. See, it's a nice little piece. So we'll save that. I'm going to throw it in my little box there. So you're probably thinking now, why did she say she was doing it this way? Well, because I want to cut that at the same time I cut my pocket. Well, I'll show you why. Because I want the I want this rounded part of the white base paper and on the designer paper to be even when we put this on. So if I kind of figure out where the center is on this, let's go with this one down here. I think this will be easier. Less lines to look at. Right about there. So it is right about there. Okay, so line those up on the edge where we're going to make this little cut, and then just kind of center that there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but now see, when we put this on and we glue it down, oh no, I cut it on the wrong side. Oh, Angela. See, it would be upside down now. Oh, darn. I should have cut it on that side. All that work for that. It's got a smile. I guess I could flip it over and we could do it this way. Then it matches this paper. Okay, so that is what we're doing. I was kind of hoping, but I can always cut out a bird cage and put it on there, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're turning it this way. Let's go ahead and put our ink on here. Yep, we ink all the way around on this one because it's going to be seen. Oh, nice and juicy ink in there. Oh, I like it. Okay, let that dry. Let that dry up there. So let's go ahead and apply this pocket. Once again, we want to put this piece on top of these to hopefully not so it doesn't interfere with any cards or anything. And I'm going to glue it down a little bit right there. Oops. If you did what I just did, take that glue out of there because it will glue your pocket shut. Lickety split. Okay, one pocket down, 2 pockets down, 1 to go. Okay, once again, putting this down here on these numbers, finding the 2-inch mark for there, and I guess we'll just use this paper. It's going to have a little bit of flowers on it right here. That's okay. We like flowers, don't we? Let me fold these in and it'll be a little easier. So I line my paper up, leave a little edge. Ooh la la, look at that. So pretty. Okay, let's cut that one. Need to transfer that little mark to the top of this one. Actually needs to be more right there. Push that right up to the top. Ta-da! There we go. Now, let's put some ink around this one. Oh, I do like this sepia color. It's nice and rich. I like that. I love rich, dark woods. Okay, while that one dries, let's apply this pocket. Oh, let's dry fit it first. Make sure it's right. It'd be terrible to try and put it on there and it would be all wrong. Okay, so it is off just slightly. Let's see. Let's line it up there. So it's off just slightly, right? About there. Or we could say it is off slightly at the front and then leave the back alone. But that still is a problem right here. Good thing we checked it. So take a look at your pocket. If it's off, then go ahead and try and straighten it out a little bit. Let's see if that does it. So I went too far. So I need to come back just slightly. The paper's pretty pliable, so we can make adjustments where we need to. There we go. Okay, now I can see that this one sticks out just a little more. So I'm going to make a mark on each end, and that tells me what angle I need to cut it at. It's likely that my back pocket was a little bit in the way, and I've got my microphone all tangled up. There we go. I gotta remember to wrap it on my knee up here and hang on to it. Then we just line up those little pencil lines on our cutter. And we may need to trim our paper to fit. Yeah, we'll have to trim that just a little bit too off the front. Let's see. Yeah, we'll trim off the front just slightly. Now don't panic, we're still going to match it up. We are going to cut this hole just a little deeper because see here, well, it's about right. Look at that. Well, no, this other one's a little larger. So go ahead and pull that back up to the top. Make sure it's even. Go ahead and insert that back in there. Give it another little nip. There we go. That looks better. Some of this sponge has a real dark brown in it. I just didn't change my sponges. So, okay, let's dry fit our pocket again. And it looks good. It's matching here, and it almost matches right there. So we're going to readjust this just slightly to this side of the... I'm not going to score it or anything. We're just going to barely put a crease in there. Just a little, not even a hinge width. I don't know if that did it or not. Let's see. Perfect. There we go. It is perfect. Let's go ahead and apply this pocket. Oh, my little bird just was at the window. What do we have out there today? A little towie? The towies are so cute. I just love to watch them. Love to watch them hop, hop, hop. And then they kind of jump and move the dirt with their front feet and whatever you call them on the bird. I'm not thinking about that right now, but I love to watch them. They're just so interesting. Okay, look at that. Oh, pretty, pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. Okay, this is the bottom one. It's going to go here. And this is the top one. It's going to go here. What do you think? Pretty, isn't it? Now we'll need to put something inside there too. Let's let these continue to dry a little more. What do we want in there? A little rose maybe? Oh, I know. We want that pink paper. And I just happen to have a little piece of it cut. Let's cut it off right there. And then we'll cut that in half. I think right about there is about half. Let's see how it looks. Oops, this one must go down here. That other pocket, remember, was a little different size. Oh, beautiful, isn't it? Let's cut that off a little bit. Yeah, we'll better cut that just slightly more. There. That is going to look nice. And this is going to get glued to the back of the paper here. Now, if you don't want to do that, you could. No, you really couldn't. You better do the paper. Let's see. This side looks more pink than that side, so I think I'm going to do mine this way. This is just a nice thin paper. And they're a little harder to get in the pockets because they are so thin, and then they get the glue on them, and then they're even harder to get in the drawer. It's a drawer. I made a drawer. Okay. Now I can see that this corner is coming up a little bit here. So go ahead and apply some glue there. Oh, I forgot to put the little bit of brown on there. Guess that'll work. I'm going to apply it on this one, even though it's not on the other one. There we go. I think it looks a little more finished. Now, let me just double check this again. I think I will slim that down just slightly. We want it to slide in pretty easy. Really, it's just to cover up this little piece here. It's not an exact science with this piece because it's going in the pocket. We're not going to really see it. Okay. The one with the bird cage goes up here. I remember, yes, that I cut it wrong. I really wanted that bird cage there too. But this is nice. Oh! Did you see that? I was going to put the glue on the wrong side. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. I haven't even kissed a frog. I guess I don't need to. I have my prints already. Oh. That is off a little bit. I don't know how I did it. Oh well, it looks good to me. Sometimes I feel like you put the glue on and something shrinks. Kind of like getting your clothes in the washer or dryer wrong. I wash all my shirts and separate from my husband's laundry. Because I came home from work one day and he'd washed all my shirts, and I probably shouldn't tell you this. Anyway, they all shrunk. Not through the body or anything, but in the length. I don't know. So anyway, I got a bunch of new shirts out of the deal. But they just got washed too warm, apparently. But I love him. He's a good man. Very good man. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? It is just kind of a nice surprise there, isn't it? Yeah. We may put some lace in here. I might put some lace here. Haven't decided on lace yet. It does say roses and lace, but I think it indicates the backgrounds, doesn't it? Okay. Now, before we apply this piece, we probably should attach it to the base piece, because this is the base piece, isn't it? You need the base, top. And let's see, let's apply that to here. What the heck? Got a glue blotch on there. No, that's going to go there. And we are going to make some swing tabs here. Yep, we are. Ah, this looks nice. Oh boy, I cut that one just to fit, I'll tell you. Okay. Gluing. I think. I don't know what I think. I don't know. I forgot. Okay. Top. So we want to apply this to the right side. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on. I hope I'm not getting what my husband has. Oh, that'd be a disaster. I don't want to be sick. I don't. Oh boy, look at that. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. So I still need a decision on this page, don't I? Might be kind of boring to have a picture and pictures. We need something here. What do we need? Do we need more of this right here? Oh, I love that. It is a nice surprise. It's like you open it and there it is. It's like, hey, how'd you get that in there? That is so cool. I like it. Do you like it? Could you see it when I flipped it open? There it is. Yeah. Like. And this is the adjoining page, so because these are going to face each other, I want this wood to be going up and down. But if we're putting pockets in down here, this doesn't need to take up the whole paper. So what kind of pocket should we put in? Should we do slit pockets? Ooh, slit pockets would be nice. Let me turn this way and put this here. If we did slit pockets, I mean, these are nice big pages. We could do 3 photo pieces that slip in the book. And then we could put lace under each slit pocket eventually. Now, if we did a slit pocket, it means that we either use our hand cutting tools to cut the slits, or we get out our die cutting machine and we cut them that way. But I said I wasn't using a die cutting machine, right? So if we did that and we had 3 pockets, inside those 3 pockets, I mean, this one up here, the page could be longer. You know, the one that slips inside could be longer because it could slip down in further. I mean, they'll all slip into the same blank space back behind the paper. Okay, well, time for me to make a little mock-up and try it. I will be right back, and I will try to come up with an idea for the top, and then I'll come back and we will work on them together. See you in a minute. Bye.